could be looking at the forEach method in JavaScript, which allows us to iterate over contents of an array. We're able to pull out the value, the index value from the array, and then also the main array itself, and then use those within the code as we're iterating through, and we've got the new updated values of the next item within the array. So that's all coming up in this lesson. First of all, let's go ahead and we're going to create an array in order to demonstrate what we've got for forEach. So forEach is a way to loop through and do simple iterations over values within an array. So here we're going to have an example of an array that's being created. So add in a number of values within the array. And these can be any value. And what we want to do is we want to do an iteration over each one of those. So we select the array, and then we can apply the forEach method on those. And then select the values. So if we want to get each different value, you can select that. And then using the fat arrows, we can return back those values into the console. So whatever we've got for val is going to be output into the console. So this is a really simple way to iterate through all of the items within the array. So the first argument within the forEach is going to be the callback function, which is executed for each element in the array. So this value is going to be returning back the first or whatever argument is within the array. And the callback function takes a single argument, which actually represents the element's value that's within the array that's being processed. So that's why for the first one, we're getting a value of 1, 2, 3, all the way through to 7. And the argument is named val, and then we're able to use the variable for the argument and log it out at the console. So let's create another example of this. So we're going to use the same numbers array, and this time we're going to do something a little bit more complex. As we loop through the numbers, we select for each one, and then using the brackets, we're going to have the first argument, which is going to return back a function, so an anonymous function, for each one of the values. And let's say we want to create an array that's going to be the double the initial numbers. So we're going to reconstruct a new array. We're going to take the double array and then push the value of each one of these items. So we've got another value for val. And then take val and we're going to multiply it by 2. And let's output into the console whatever we've got the value for the new array that we've created. So there we were able to apply some additional functionality within the results as we're looping through and selecting that initial value from the item within the array, and as it iterated through, it took that value and it added the value into the new array that we had created, which was dub. So it allows us to iterate over the numbers and create a new array that was double the number of the original value of the item from the original array. And then we pushed it into the double array. Let's do another one where we can log the content of it. And there's quite a bit that you can do. So here, what we're going to be doing is we'll log out the values. So we can also do like a console log as well of the values as they're being created. So it's just going to output quickly the double the value of the original contents of the array. And there's also other values that you can get within the array. So within the other arguments, so it's not only just the value, you can also get the index and you can get the array itself. So these can be used however you need within the block of code. So we're just selecting out the variables, the values. This is the index value of the item within the array as it iterates through. And then that's going to be the entire array itself. So here we're just outputting the entire array itself. That's the value, and the second one is the index value. And so we know that the last one had the index value of 6. So these are the output now. These are the output results. So in conclusion, the forEach method is a convenient way and efficient way to iterate over an array of values and also perform specific actions for each element. It's also a very powerful tool for processing arrays in JavaScript and can be used in a variety of situations in order to simplify your code and do more with just a few lines of code.